Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Fargo series. This is episode 2 of season 3 and it is called The Principle of Restricted Choice. Last episode. I'm not going to repeat myself again, but I was raving all last episode about how much I loved the setup, which I truly did. Great cast introduced throughout the episode also, and just the way it played out, man. The first episode in every Fargo I feel like is always like a spike, and then it'll sort of build a little bit more up to another spike at some point. But yeah, this was another spike of an episode, just the way from start to finish it all slowly played out. But long story short, as we know, we've got rich evil Ewan McGregor who snaked his brother, not rich Ewan McGregor who seems to have a really nice relationship with his parolee, just trying to get some money to enjoy his life and feels like he's entitled to the stamp. Maurice royally fucked up and killed the grandfather of the new lady cop's family. And after threatening non-wealthy Ewan McGregor, his genius girlfriend had the idea to drop the AC on the head of Maurice, which they timed beautifully. And I cannot wait to see where this story goes from here. So this is episode 2 of season 3 of Fargo, The Principle of Restricted Choice. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it.
Mom?
Such a fucked up image of the dead grandfather. What is she looking for? My theory last episode was that these were valuable books, but I guess they could also mean something else. Huh. What the fuck is going on with this storyline? I'm so confused. I mean, it doesn't take a lot to confuse me, as a regular watcher of this channel will know, but still, my confusion remains.
Thaddeus Mobley fella had something to do with the murder?
I should say so, seeing as how Ennis Stussy and this Thaddeus Mobley are one and the same.
What did she mean there by saying they were one and the same? Does that mean that the grandfather was a science fiction novelist and that was his pen name? Either way, she's completely on the wrong trail, of course, because this was actually a random killing, but it's not surprising that she would be instantly doing detective work in that direction, I guess.
Ron, it's Gloria. Hold on, I'll call you back.
I thought she was about to say her name was Gloria Hold On. You don't want to be called Gloria Hole. That's a single syllable away from being incredibly unemployable. Aside from, you know, at the glory hole, which case, probably make a shit ton. Although I don't think people actually pay for glory holes. At least when I went, there wasn't a credit card slot. I kept trying, but it was just whoa. Then I tried to put it in her mouth and she just spat it back out, which was strange due to, you know, what she'd already not spat back out.
VM Varga.
Yes, and we should have, at the time when we needed the loan, we should have come to you.
I think this is a terrible move by these guys by telling anyone else.
The card his reps gave to us last year. You have the loan document, on which is a phone number and a mailing address.
Good point. If they've got all that paper trail leading to their company, you should at least be able to figure out who exactly you're dealing with. I mean, it won't be good news. I don't think it'll be anything they can work with, but at least you'll know how deep in the shit you are.
You think I was too hard on him? It's been a long time coming. You saying no to him.
Fucking seriously, guys? I can't believe even Ewan McGregor's lawyer's taking this stance.
Maybe I should just give him the stamp.
To what end?
Wow, okay, so the plot thickens somewhat. Like, I don't know if Ewan McGregor brought that up in this situation because he knew the lawyer would shoot it down, so that's an easy way for him to look angelical while knowing that the lawyer wouldn't make him go through with that. But also, maybe that was a genuine thought, and maybe his lawyer is more to do with this than it first appeared, because by that conversation it seems like his lawyer knows exactly what he's doing and knows he'll get way more money keeping rich Ewan McGregor rich than splitting the dough with not rich Ewan McGregor. I hope that's the case, because I don't want to hate rich Ewan McGregor. It's fucking Ewan McGregor, my Scottish brethren. Obi-Wan Kenobi. What is this? Has he just downloaded a virus? Fuck. Wow, the screen just took a photo for a second and then turned it black. Oh no, Ov Blumpkin's in some deep shit now.
I'll call the IT kid that Shirley knows.
Holy shit. I hope we learn who this guy's connected to throughout this show. I'm always the most intrigued by the scenes where the criminal figures show up. Like that English dude who showed up in episode 1 just instantly ate the scenery to me, even though he was quite reserved. It's just like, all of a sudden, instead of a dialogue scene between two people, you're getting a dialogue scene between a person and a shark dressed as a person.
Pardon? Ni hao is the Chinese, the Corsicans use the simple salute.
Hey, here he is, just after I talked him up. Welcome back. That's probably how he got those teeth, chewing the fucking scenery.
A keener sense of reason might extrapolate a connection with the name I just mentioned.
I hope he doesn't hurt this little worker guy. This guy's just an idiot. Nice, yeah. Leave that guy to his post. He knows nothing, he never wants to know nothing. What is this truckload of shit he's bringing to the place though? And why has the guy got a kosh? Oh, they're not actually shipping in people, are they?
No, I won't say from Mr. Stussy. I'm not gonna create the implication of foreknowledge.
Thank God that lawyer answered the call, because only he would know law savvy enough to say that on the phone without thinking about it.
Some old-timer out in the country, they push in his front door, tie him up. He runs a general store.
That's so fucking horrible.
Not the Minnesota I grew up in, to tell you that.
But little does he know that could have been his face in the paper today, although I think he would have given up the stamp before he was killed, to be fair.
Ground lot, under the highway. You thought it'd be a good investment long term. Maybe turn into condos one day, right?
Sounds like a smart plan.
Seems there's a big rig parked there now.
In the lot?
To the point, what's in it?
Yeah, good point. What is he deciding to store in this lot?
You think maybe it's... I don't even want to say it out loud.
Slave girls?
What?
Could be. I mean, the way the guy banged on the side with a kosh, it seemed like it was people.
I'm thinking about deniability. What they call plausible.
True. Actually, if they don't go down there, they're none the wiser to this guy's going-ons. But then they will have to prove that this guy was part of their business.
See what earth turns up, then whatever dirt we use to extricate ourselves overall.
Yeah, Irv's not going to be providing you any help anymore.
What do you keep prisoners?
There's a storeroom, computer boxes, paper towels.
Oh, holy shit, it's Nucky Thompson's brother from Boardwalk Empire. We're getting loads of great Boardwalk Empires in this season.
You know what year it is, right? We don't use who uses telexes anymore?
So that's why no one ever writes me back.
This guy's a great actor. He was also in a little episode of the True Detective series.
I'm sorry to be doing this today, with the loss of your father and all.
Stepfather.
Oh, stepfather. Still obviously horrific, of course.
Who may have seen our perp gas up on his way out of town, so I'm gonna...
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and pretend you didn't just mouth off to me like my teenage daughter.
Holy shit.
We're gonna have a long talk about the way things work around here.
Holy shit, man. This is so strange because in previous seasons, the clever police officer who wasn't at the chief level yet was more undermined by ignorance or stupidity even, and things like that. But this is the first chief who just seems to be truly a bit of a fucking asshole, man. Like, she's just lost one of her closest family members and he's talking to her like that about the situation. Talk about making yourself hateable in a paragraph. Congratulations, police chief. I fucking hate you, mate.
And it's one of those nights. Miller Lite, cigarettes, motor oil.
If you mix the motor oil with a Miller Lite, it gives out a bit of a kick.
Then this fella comes in.
Fella singular?
If singular means just one, then...
Singular does in fact mean just one.
From like an accent, or?
Well, I can't really say. Maybe he told me.
You know what's funny? It's like if you didn't hear the guy talk, you would think, yeah, the Russian guy, you know what I mean, because of his t-shirt and shit, but in actuality, he had just as much of a Minnesota-ish accent as the next person, so perhaps of Russian heritage, but definitely of this area.
It's a public book, which meant for everyone, so I raise a ruckus.
Can I see it?
I was actually worried Maurice had also killed this guy last episode, so at least he didn't kill this guy at the petrol station as well.
Hey,
Gotta take this as evidence.
And that's a good piece of evidence because it might not exactly narrow it down to a singular name, but she knows the name at the address which ended up getting her stepfather killed was on the piece of paper missing. Nice. We have a competent lady cop once again. Completely don't mind that being a trope of Fargo. I'm rooting for these competent lady cops.
Or Swango.
No, that's her name. Nikki Swango.
Oh shit, he's actually in the police offices checking the records. I didn't realise that's what he was doing. And thank God they ruled it as accidental. It was such a ninja move, they genuinely deserved to get away with it. Ah yes, the puddle that was Maurice. It's a very Russian looking puddle.
Bert Lerdsman is the name. His name, the sponsor I told you about.
That is a Ermagerd Goosebumps girl meme of a name.
I never killed anybody before.
Well, me either.
Well, me neither.
I gotta be honest.
You got the soul of a poet.
I do?
This woman is the best woman of all time. AC in fool's heads, looking like she does coming out of the bath, and saying he has the soul of a poet.
What about the fella that Maurice killed, the other Stussy?
Wasn't he really old?
So?
Shit, I never thought about it from that perspective. This is gonna end up trickling back to them because this lady cop is smart enough to figure out it was Maurice, and then she'll realise he died the night he did that, and you know the chances of it being accidental and not connected are slim. Then she'll look up to the apartment and shit. I hope these two have a happy ending to this season.
The next Bert Lerdsman Grand National Champions.
Yeah, can we make the finale of this season them winning the Nationals at bridge? Some people might see it as a bit of a strange departure from the typical Fargo structure, but an entire episode of them just smashing everyone at a bridge tournament and being cool with one another and in love would be great.
My boss, we were talking and...
Talking about my ass with your boss?
No.
See, I like the fact she was being protective of the fact she was getting objectified. That's cool. I wouldn't like my boss talking about my girlfriend's ass. I'd be like, yo man, chill out with that shit. Do you want me to talk about your wife? Let's see all the pictures of your wife. I'm gonna tell you everything about each one of them. Would get swiftly fired, but his wife would be very interested.
This is a blood feud. We can't be fighting a blood feud while we're trying to land a big time sponsor.
It's true, blood feuds do traditionally clash with sponsorship attainment, but it's not to say that both can't be had, you know. My actual clan, my clan, the one my surname, you know, my genes go back to, had a notable blood feud with the English border guards because I'm from the South Scottish borders where Hadrian's Wall is, so my ancestors had a blood feud with border guards for centuries. So, you know, I'm very familiar with the blood feud. At the same time, I don't think any of my ancestors ever got a McDonald's sponsorship, so maybe there's something to what she said. Oh, sit on the snow. It's like the indestructible force against the unmovable object. Will your ass melt the snow, or will the snow freeze your ass?
I felt bad about how we left things, and, you know,
It's so cool that Ray's still like this in their relationship, even after all the years of it. I just wish that his brother would give him the stamp. It would completely exonerate him, even though he should have done it years ago. Still, I would like him if he did it. Wait, is Ray's missus sneaking in the flat to get the stamp as he's talking to him like this? This was such an easier plan from the get-go than sending Maurice. I mean, it's not hard to find. She's just not checked all the walls, I guess. I wouldn't expect Ray's girlfriend to fuck up this heist. She was the AC assassin episode 1. Don't make her do something incompetent episode 2, please.
Get home safe.
And she needed way more time than that. Ray should have stalled him for a good 10 minutes. This is gonna go badly again. I thought this was a slam dunk. Oh, she's found something else though. What does that mean? Rental for a safety deposit box. Please tell me she ninjas out of this place. I mean, she was the MVP at episode 1, so I fully back her to be able to ninja away. Oh shit, she wanted him to know. No way. Also, that was quite genius of her. I just thought she was appreciating the picture. She was thinking of some wordplay for her exit. Gross, she left her tampon on it. Oh, completely unnecessary. I mean, she was really trying to send a message while also not caring about directly leaving her DNA at the scene.
Yuri, back from the old country. Am I not right? You grew up in Ukraine.
Oh my god, this is already that London gangster from hacking into his laptop, isn't it?
When I saw your name, you searched for Mr. Varga, yes?
I fucking knew it. Oh shit! Holy fuck. I wasn't expecting them to just kill him like that. I mean, the fact he started that threatening speech, you instantly think, oh, this is a stay away from Mr. Varga type speech. But no, he just wanted to give him an additional terrifying speech before he yeeted him off the balcony. Holy shit. That's what you get for even searching this guy's name. I love the way they build up these ominous ghost villainous organizations in this show.
It felt kind of good. We talked, and I think we got past it.
Yeah, that's not gonna work now. She kind of just ruined all of that.
You didn't, I mean, no trace, right? In and out, that's what we...
Well...
I mean, when you say no trace, do you mean, you know, fingerprints or lipstick and vagina blood? Sorry, what did you say? Lipstick. No, after the lipstick part.
He didn't trust you. So he hung up in its place. A donkey is what?
I didn't see him swap the stamp off the wall though. I just thought it was on a wall that wasn't in that place or in a different room or something.
Oh, he may have won this round, but two can play it that... You should drive.
There's an interesting dynamic beginning to form here, and it's a shame because, like I said, on one side, this lawyer seems to be a bit money grabby, trying to talk Rich Ewan McGregor out of not giving him the stamp. But I like the relationship between the girlfriend and parole officer Ewan McGregor, and now it seems like they're writing it so like, even though she's a nice person to him, she's going to be a bad influence to him when it comes to the reconciliation between him and his brother. So there's like these two side characters stopping these two brothers from just reconciling. If it wasn't for these two characters right now, one of them would have given the other the stamp and the other one would have wanted to build the bridges.
Give him the lay of the land. He's dead to you. To us.
And he can't wait to give him this speech because he wants all that lawyer money from this guy. He's probably stealing money from him as well.
Yeah?
That is so creepy though, just how quickly they executed the guy in cold blood just for even searching the name.
He jumped off the garage.
I mean, who do they go to now? The one guy they went to who they thought was going to be able to help them in this situation has just miraculously committed suicide, so now what? If I was them, I would just do whatever Mr. Varga tells them. Say, you know what, Mr. Varga, I want you to have 100% of my company. I'm just going to take whatever's in the safe and leave.
It's kind of, to be honest, a mystery. I mean, as far as I can figure it, Ennis moved to Eden Valley in 1980.
Another thing I notice about this season's Competent Lady Cop is they've written her without quirk, whereas the first two Competent Lady Cops from the movie and Molly from season 1 were both quite quirky while being Competent Lady Cops, but they've written this woman to be quite stoic, which is understandable because she's going through multiple grieving processes of her relationship breaking apart and then losing her stepfather. Understandable. It's just interesting because it makes her a unique character and not a retreading of old ground, even though, you know, if we're looking at the structure, it's the same. It makes it feel fresh. Completely different personality type, but in a similar situation again.
It's destined to become one of the Yuletide season's genuine standards.
Might be 2010, but that couch is straight out of season 2. Oh, okay, so he's been sent to deliver this "you're dead to me" speech.
You and Emmett will never speak again.
Don't be, you know, dramatic.
Oh, I'm serious.
I feel like he's been waiting so long to say this to Ray. I don't think this is going to be enough to buy him off, if that's what his plan is. Okay, this isn't a payoff.
That's the last dime you're ever gonna see from the parking lot king of Minnesota.
That's like a bus fare. It's a classic, never gets old. Go on, do it again.
And so...
Perfect. What a fucking dickhead. Oh, that was so unnecessary. And my man, who's so worried about covering his ass legally and shit, now he's just doing this to a car. Isn't this enough to arrest this guy? How come the lawyer's all of a sudden being so flippant with the law? And they just hit another woman's car as well, shit. I hope he gets put in the cells for the night for that. This dude could do with a bit of a reality check. Even to get him out of the way for 24 hours would probably give these brothers time enough to reconcile all their differences. Oh no. What a terrifying trio just to be staring at you as you walk through the front door.
I was hoping to show the boys their new office. It's this way, if I'm not mistaken.
What? So these two hitmen are now gonna get desk jobs directly in the Stussy head offices? I mean, these guys are just killers.
We acquired some new lots.
Yeah, who you got to thank for that, eh?
Built an office in his building without him fully knowing what was being built.
This is not... You can't just...
I mean, what could these be? This could be anything from drugs to dirty money to paperwork they want to hide.
You're making a scene, right? And let's talk in your office.
I've got a feeling he's going to subtly mention the reason why the guy that was trying to get information on him jumped off the balcony.
Oh, good, they're here. Nothing to worry about, Madeline.
And this is, you know, organised crime at the highest of levels. This is a really modern way, really organised crime will operate towards high-level businesses. If you want to see one step down from this though, if you remember in The Sopranos, when Tony got his friend who was into gambling into a debt because he owned a sports shop, and then Tony just moved in, ordered a bunch of shit, sold it out the back, bled the fucking company into bankruptcy, and then it was liquidated. You know what I'm saying? And this is that at an even higher level. But the fate of this company is to be bled of its resources. That's what these people are here for. Unless they can continuously profit from you and feel like you are actually an expanding business, they're just going to bleed you and kill you.
Mr. Varga?
Please, sign. Call me VM.
Going by a two initial name. Only people that are known assassins really do that sort of shit. And just like YouTubers and stuff.
Impossible to verify, because who's to say how many cars parked in which spots and for how long?
And when they said lots, I never knew exactly what they meant. I thought they meant storage allotments, but now I understand they mean parking lots, so that makes sense.
Start developing some multi-function commercial and residential properties, a new stadium perhaps.
I mean, that sounds good though, like they're trying to expand the business. That's not the worst thing.
Reality? You're trapped.
Okay, that sounds like the worst thing ever.
By the time we're done, you'll be billionaires. On paper, at least.
That's still quite impressive.
Condolences on your attorney. I can't have people out there investigating things.
Yeah, I knew he was going to let them know right at the end that it was him responsible for it. A final cherry on top before he left the room. Just so they know exactly who they're fucking with. What another great episode, seriously. Okay, and that was episode 2 of season 3 of Fargo, The Principle of Restricted Choice, which makes a lot of sense now I've seen the episode, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, The Principle of Restricted Choice, what did I think of that? Absolutely incredible, and I love where they're taking this story. They introduced that premise in the first episode only to introduce side elements which change how you perceive the original premise. What I mean by that is now we've got the lawyer on one side trying to convince Ewan McGregor to be greedy and selfish and keep all his money, and obviously as a byproduct of that, that lawyer will get richer if he isn't in fact nefariously siphoning a bit extra off the top for himself already because he seems to be knee deep in everything legal and financial that Ewan McGregor does. Then on the other side, we've got this really cute couple, but at the end of the day, that girlfriend has got his back to the point that she won't see the potential for reconciliation as a good thing. She'll be like, nah, fuck him, he snaked you, and she's right. But as we see it from both sides and both perspectives as this story continues, we realise there was actually a real genuine potential for reconciliation in the best possible way. You know, one Ewan McGregor wanted to give the other the stamp and just be cool. The other liked it when he gave the fake speech of wanting to be cool and put the past behind him, thinking it was a fake speech, but afterwards genuinely felt better for it, showing that's what he wanted deep down also. And if these two people at this point didn't have these two other people in their ears turning them away from that, it's kind of tragic, you know. It paints it as an absolute tragedy to see two family members torn apart when there's the potential there for everything to be alright, but just by happenstance and the people around them, it's never going to be that way. Now, I do not like the lawyer. He seems like a greedy prick. Even though he's looking out for Ewan McGregor's best interests, it wouldn't surprise me if he was being a snake to him as well. He just seems like a greedy prick. But the girlfriend, I really, really like her character. It's just a byproduct of who she is and how much she loves and supports her Ewan McGregor, that she will always take the stance of fuck that guy that snaked you. So it's really weird. It's not two villains convincing two good people not to do something. It's more complex than that, but it works really well because of that, and I thought it was a great way to further deepen the already interesting premise that was laid out to us in episode 1. And as I was saying in the episode, I also like how they've written Competent Lady Cop to be almost a more somber character this season. And I know Fargo is known for its quirkiness and shit, but you know, that's like almost a punchline at this point. And how many times do you want to repeat the punchline before people watching it become like Fargo is just a bunch of oh yeahs? You know, that's the last thing you would want as a writer, because human beings love to pigeonhole shit. We can't let something operate outside of a box because it drives us insane. For that reason, I think it's a great choice, looking ahead and seeing that also of Noah Hawley, to write this Competent Lady Cop as a less quirky version, making her fresh again. And how terrifying is Varga? This guy googled his name, clicked a link, got photographed instantly, and the next thing he knew, he was getting slung off a balcony. I mean, that just sets him up to be the most ominous dude ever, even though in person, you know, he hasn't even raised his voice, he hasn't even not stopped smiling, he's saying everything with a grin on his face. Like again I said, he's a shark in a suit. And I'm not sure what he's doing just now by having this lorry pull up to this lot that's underused underneath a bridge out of the way, and bringing these two assassins into Ewan McGregor's main office and bringing in loads of boxes. Like, who knows what was in the truck and who knows what were in these boxes? I have zero idea on both, but it's obviously not going to be anything good or anything that's going to help Ewan McGregor. And my final thought is, I think it'll be fucking interesting when Ray and Ray's girlfriend get involved and see in some capacity Varga or Varga's cronies. Will they at that point still be against Ewan McGregor and like that Varga's doing this to him? Or will they at that point have softened on that Ewan McGregor and thus help him against this Varga character? Because right now, if you look at wealthy Ewan McGregor, he's got enemies on all fucking sides. And some of them deservedly, in Ray's case of course, but you know, he just got extorted off a high level organised crime when it comes to his business, and that's, yeah, more fool him for not doing his due diligence on who's giving him a loan, especially when they're not expecting any collateral back. That should have raised an extreme eyebrow, so that is whack business. But whose fault is that really? I would say the lawyer. Maybe there's going to be a big reveal later that the lawyer was the one that let this organisation in through the back door. And yeah, you can already see how invested I am, like in all threads of it. It is so interesting. And now the next question is, how are these characters going to be when they interact? You know, Lady Cop and Varga, Ray and his girlfriend and Varga, Ray and his girlfriend when Lady Cop catches up to them. Oh man, even if they don't introduce any new characters from this point on, the dynamic by this episode is fucking perfect. And I cannot wait to see what happens next week. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog. You get access to these reactions on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.